Gray, 105 to the Fan. Obviously, Coach, the idea is to get back in this series and protect home court. This team tonight broke an 11-game losing streak to the Phoenix Suns. What does that do for this team mentally and psychologically going forward now that this team has accomplished beating this team, and what it means for the rest of the series?
Yeah, Kevin, I think we didn't know we lost 11 straight. I think we're more upset about the fine that we got from the league cheering. So, I think when you look at what we did tonight, it's just one game. We played hard for 48 minutes, and now we got to validate that on Sunday.
The Dallas Mavericks avoid an 0-3 hole with a 103-94 win in game number 3. Game 4 is on Sunday as the Mavericks look to even up their series with the Phoenix Suns. This is Inside the Mavs right here on Kevin Gray Sports. My name is Kevin Gray. You can find me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Kevin Gray Sports. Be sure to hit that subscribe button right there for all of these Kevin Gray Sports here on YouTube. And you can catch me on your home of the Dallas Cowboys and Texas Rangers. 105.3 The Fan. The Dallas Mavericks had 5 guys in double figures, including Jalen Brunson, who refound himself in Game 3 with 28 points as the Mavericks get a 103-94 win, holding the Phoenix Suns to under 25 points in the first 3 quarters of this game. Jalen Brunson, 10 of 21 from the field, 28 points. Luka Doncic, 26 points, 13 rebounds, 9 assists in the win. The Mavericks had 5 guys in double figures, including Dorian Finney-Smith with 14, Reggie Bullock with 15, and Maxi Kleber had 14 big points in this game as well. Jalen Brunson was extremely aggressive, especially in the first and third quarters, had 10 points in each of the first and the third quarter. You could tell in this game from the outset that Jalen Brunson wanted to get downhill, attack the Suns defense, and he did just that, relentlessly attacking the rim all night long, reminding us of who he was in the series against the Utah Jazz. Jalen Brunson joined the party, as Jason Kidd likes to say, and helped out Luka Doncic, who had another fantastic game. 26 points in this game, 13 rebounds, 9 assists, did a little bit of everything. Yes, he got into foul trouble as the game went on, got into foul trouble late. He picked up his 5th foul, obviously, with 8:07 left in the fourth quarter, but his teammates picked him up all night long. That was the theme of Game 3. The Mavericks picking each other up on both the offensive and defensive ends to be able to help end their 11-game losing streak to the Phoenix Suns. And now the Suns, for the first time in these playoffs, did not shoot over 50%, just shooting 44.7% from the field in game number 3. The defense was the story for the Dallas Mavericks in game 3. The Mavs had 12 steals, 4 blocks, forced 17 turnovers and scored 22 points off of those 17 turnovers in game number 3. The active hands, the deflections, all the things that you would want to see from the Mavericks, a desperate defense, be able to handle their business, held the Suns, as I mentioned, under 25 points in each of the first 3 quarters, and they were able to set a tone from the outset to be able to give them the opportunity to get some things done that the Suns are uncharacteristically did in game number 3. In fact, Chris Paul had 7 turnovers in this game, 6 of those turnovers coming in the first half. They were able to get him out of rhythm, especially with Reggie Bullock and his defense. Reggie Bullock was spectacular in game 3. Played through a rib injury in the second half. The timely three-point shot making, the defense on Chris Paul, and what he was able to do in setting that tone defensively was huge, obviously, for Reggie Bullock and this team, and how they were able to hold off the Phoenix Suns late in the fourth quarter. As I mentioned, Jalen Brunson attacking the paint. The Dallas Mavericks as a team had 50 points in the paint and relentlessly went at DeAndre Ayton, JaVale McGee throughout the course of Game 3. And more importantly, they were the aggressors. They were the ones getting downhill. They were the ones trying to put pressure on Devin Booker and the Phoenix Suns in this particular game. The Mavs shot 61% inside the paint and were able to do what they wanted to do for the most part by getting inside. Jalen Brunson, with the attacking of the rim, Jason Kidd always talks about, look, We want to do things. When good things happen for us, they happen when it comes in the paint, and that's exactly what happened in game number 3. So the Mavericks find themselves now back into this series. Both teams have protected home court so far through the first 3 games of this series. Jason Kidd and his ability to make subtle adjustments in game 3 I thought was huge, especially one that won't be talked about nearly as much as it should. Frank Ntilikina was introduced into this series in a major way in Game 3. The defense that he played on Devin Booker, the defense that he was able to play on the perimeter was huge, I thought, for this Mavericks team. You don't necessarily need much scoring from Ntilikina, but what you need him to be is a guy that can guard out on the perimeter, be that wing defender that can bother a guy like Devin Booker, and Frank Ntilikina was up to the task in Game 3, and I thought was huge given the attacking mentality that the Mavericks wanted to play with the deflections, with the steals, the desperate defense that they played. Frank Ntilikina and his defense was huge in game number 3. How will this translate going into game 4? Obviously, we will find out based on what the Mavericks did in game 3. Dorian Finney-Smith was really good. I thought a pivotal moment in game 3. The Phoenix Suns, you could tell, wanted to try and put pressure on the Dallas Mavericks. Mikal Bridges hit an opening jumper, and you felt like the Suns were trying to build momentum to try and blitz the Dallas Mavericks to get back into the game. But Dorian Finney-Smith hit a three-pointer on the left corner that put them back up 8 and started an 8-0 run, and the Mavericks really never looked back from there, and they were able to maintain their lead throughout the second half and were able to hold off the Phoenix Suns. Reggie Bullock hitting a dagger three-pointer with 55 seconds left to get them up 11. That was huge, obviously, in the way that this team was able to handle their business when it came to the defensive end. They forced 14 turnovers that the Mavericks were only committing 4 through 3 quarters. They dominated the points in the paint. The bench points, the second chance points, they were really good through 3 quarters against the Phoenix Suns and had 18 points off of 14 Suns turnovers through the first 3 quarters. So the defense was the theme of the night, obviously, and what they were able to do to handle their business in this particular game. And it showed by the way that they played. Now, going forward here, the Mavericks must continue the defensive pressure that they showed in Game 3, how that translates into Game 4. That will be interesting to see how that goes. Look, Chris Paul is not going to turn the ball over 7 times. Devin Booker, when you look at his numbers, was 6 of 13. DeAndre Ayton, 6 of 12. But what you liked about the Mavericks is they limited the amount of possessions. 88 possessions in this game. While they were able to slow down the Phoenix Suns from getting out in transition, the Mavericks played at their own pace. We know how Luka Doncic can manipulate a game in terms of the control and the pace of play. The Dallas Mavericks were able to do that. But again, they got back to what they were defensively, the way that we saw in the Utah series, the way that we saw them throughout the course of the regular season. That defense finally showed up in game number 3 to get themselves back into this series. And for a mindset for this team going forward, that is going to be huge. That will need to carry over in Game 4. Maxi Kleber, his versatility on the defensive end, Frank Ntilikina and the minutes that he played, taking the Josh Green minutes away and being able to be effective on the defensive end. And obviously what you got from the Dallas Mavericks from a shooting standpoint has to continue to be much better going into game number 4. But most importantly, everyone contributed to the win. Jalen Brunson, Dorian Finney-Smith, Reggie Bullock, all of these guys came to the party to help Luka Doncic get done what they needed to get done, which was climb back into this series to ensure that they get at least a Game 5 going forward for the rest of this series. So the Dallas Mavericks in this game get a 103-94 win over the Phoenix Suns, breaking their 11-game losing streak, holding the Phoenix Suns to under 50% for the first time in the playoffs in 9 games. All of the things that the Mavericks had to do defensively, they accomplished it. What they wanted to do offensively, they did just enough of and got enough balance from everyone else to be able to handle themselves efficiently on the offensive end in this game. And more importantly now, give themselves confidence that not only can they continue to climb back in this series, but they now know they can beat the Phoenix Suns and beat them with their defense. And if that calling card remains the same, we may be headed for a much longer series than what we initially thought after what happened in the first couple of games in Phoenix. Again, both teams have protected home court through the first 3 games. Can the Dallas Mavericks do the same? Because we know that the Phoenix Suns will be looking to attack relentlessly going into game number 4 to try and get back to Phoenix up 3-1 to end that series on their home floor come Tuesday. But for now, the Mavericks celebrate a 103-94 win at home, Game 4 on Mother's Day on Sunday at 2:30. The Mavericks will look to even up their series with the Phoenix Suns at 2 games apiece in this best-of-7 Western Conference semifinal, and hopefully take a lot of the things that they did in this game and go and take that with him into game number 4. It should be a lot of fun inside of the American Airlines Center, where the crowd was rocking in front of a sold-out crowd at the AAC. And now, importantly, the Mavericks find themselves in this series, and they will look to continue to climb back in it on Sunday. Again, Game 4 on Sunday afternoon, Mother's Day at 2:30. The Dallas Mavericks get a 103-94 win. 5 guys in double figures. Jalen Brunson, 28 big points, attacking downhill, and more importantly, getting back to the kind of player that we saw against the Utah Jazz. Hopefully that Jalen Brunson will show up for the Mavericks in game number 4. They will need him, and more importantly, they will need the collective team effort that they showed in game 3 to carry over in game 4. You can find me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Kevin Gray Sports. Make sure you subscribe to Kevin Gray Sports here on YouTube. This has been Inside the Mavs right here on Kevin Gray Sports. Mavs win 103-94 at the American Airlines Center, Game 4 on Sunday. We'll be reporting live from the American Airlines Center on Sunday. I'll talk to you later. Peace.